So I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoyed your holidays with your friends and your families. But now that the festivities are starting to die down, it's time for us to get right back into business. And today, we have got a lot of transfer portal news to talk about. And we're going to focus on a few guys that I think are going to be impact guys that you need to know about, including Jimmy Horn Jr. going to Coach Prime in Colorado and a quarterback going to a new head coach that I think everybody needs to know. Before we can, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes, N for no. Do you think we still have some major transfer portal moves on the horizon? Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions are massive to content creators such as myself and both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. And we're on a push to see how close we can get to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this amazing community. But having said all that, let's jump right into this, and we need to start with a quarterback making a move that I find very notable. Because former Texas quarterback Hudson announced his intention to transfer, and college football was really curious as to where he would go. Well, we finally have our answer. It is Purdue with new head coach Ryan Walters, who just got done running that Illinois defense, which ranked number 1 in the country in scoring defense and number 2 in the country in total defense. It was a very impressive unit. Now, this is a move that I find really interesting. Hudson Card is someone that has some experience. He played in relief of Quinn Ewers when Ewers went down with the injury this season. He was a part of the quarterback competition during Sark's first year between he and Casey Thompson. So this is someone who, if you listen to those around Texas, he's very highly thought of. He played very well when he played in relief of Quinn Ewers this season as well. He had a 69.4 completion percentage, 928 yards, 8.6 average yards per attempt, 6 touchdowns to 1 interception, which you'll take that. And I think for Coach Walters, the thing you're most excited about here is the experience that Hudson Card brings in. Hudson Card may not be a seasoned veteran where he has multiple seasons of being the guy for a team, but he does have enough experience that you feel very comfortable if he comes into your quarterback room and he is to be the guy. I think this is a move we have to keep up with, but the transfer portal is unique because the transfer portal giveth, but the transfer portal also taketh, and Purdue is a perfect example of this because it was not all wins. They had a quarterback actually hit the transfer portal that I think a lot of teams are going to be after. Former 4-star guy Brady Allen hits the transfer portal from Purdue, and this is someone we need to keep an eye on. Brady Allen stands 6'5", 210 pounds, and he was a top 200 prospect in the class of 2022 and a top 10 quarterback. I don't expect him to be in the transfer portal very long. I expect him to have many suitors. This is a name that I want you to keep at the forefront of your mind because this is not the last time we're going to be talking about Brady Allen. Hello there, Ty from the future. And before I could even start editing this video of us talking about all the big moves in the transfer portal, another massive move came down. Former Wake Forest starting quarterback Sam Hartman plans to enter the transfer portal per Pete Thamel. And this is a storyline we have to watch. There are no shortage of big name players available in the transfer portal, but really at the quarterback position right now, if you're in need of a quarterback, you may be in luck. And specifically, when we look at Sam Hartman, this is someone who in 2022 was just shy of 4,000 yards, coming in at 3,701, 38 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. So I don't expect him to be sitting in the transfer portal for very long, and quite honestly, he may even have a destination in mind already, but this is absolutely a move we have got to keep up with because there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the transfer portal, and this addition will absolutely shake it all up. But now we need to talk about Coach Prime in Colorado continuing to go on a major winning streak. And Christmas Day treated Coach Prime as well as it treated anybody, and we need to talk about another big addition we haven't had the chance to talk about yet. And that's Jimmy Horn Jr., who announced he is going to transfer to Colorado, and this is a big get for Coach Prime and the Buffaloes. Coach Prime and the Buffaloes have been able to successfully get a lot of really intriguing skill guys, and I can't wait to see how they're utilized, especially with that Sean Lewis offense. We've talked about that extensively. But what is Colorado getting in Jimmy Horn Jr.? And quite frankly, this guy is a playmaker. Through and through. Whenever he gets the ball, you have got to be aware of what he can do. This is the type of guy that can take a drag route 95 yards. This is the type of guy that you don't kick it to him on kickoff. You don't punt it to him on punt. You just try and make sure he doesn't get the ball. And the one thing that's a little bit unique to me is when I go back and watch Jimmy Horn Jr. is that he wasn't utilized more. This is a guy that has less than 40 receptions on the year, and I would think with someone of his capability, if you're in offense, you're going to be pushing the ball to him. Now, the reason why I like him in this Coach Prime offense, because I already know people are going to be asking, well, what about the trenches? What about the offensive line? What about the defensive line? We're going to talk about that here in a little bit in this same video, so don't fear. But whenever we look at the wide receivers, the running backs, everything that Coach Prime and Colorado are able to add in, it's going to be a really intriguing offense. And it's going to be really tough to key in on any one of these guys because when we look at the stylistic differences some of these guys have, it's going to be really interesting to see how they attack a defense. And if you're interested, what about the trenches? I completely hear you. Fair and legitimate question. We look at the state of college football. We look at the state of football. Forget college football. Football in general. The trenches win and lose games. That's just a fact to football. So what is Colorado doing to address the trenches? Well, we've talked about several additions they've made through the transfer portal for some offensive linemen, for some defensive guys that I really like, but they got a huge commitment in the class of 2024. 6'3", 307 pounds, number 108 in the nation, regardless of position, and the number 13 defensive lineman, Omar White, in the class of 2024 from the state of Georgia. So Coach Prime and this staff have successfully gone into the state of Georgia and taken a top 200 player in all of high school football. That is a huge addition. And with his frame, he's going to be able to plug up holes for the linebackers to just be able to attack. So Coach Prime and Colorado are absolutely addressing the trenches. And we have to remember, this is only the first transfer portal window. There's another transfer portal window that Coach Prime and Colorado can address more needs. And at that point, they'll have a more complete understanding of the needs they'll have because they will have already seen the team during the spring practices, which is going to grant them far more clarity into what they need to address. So I have full faith that the trenches are going to be something they continue to look at. And if we even want to go further, the way I'd like to close this video is just some random transfer portal news. We talked about the quarterback movement from Hudson going from Texas to Purdue. We talked about Brady Allen going from Purdue to the transfer portal. But what about some names I think you need to know? Well, first and foremost, former Alabama and Texas wide receiver Agiye Hall is once again in the transfer portal. And this is something I'm really interested in seeing what happens. Agiye Hall has all the ability in the world, truly has all the ability you could ask for. And I just hope he ends up somewhere and is able to showcase his ability. But in order to be able to showcase his ability, he's got to be able to go somewhere and stick there. He's got to be able to go somewhere and fight through the adversity. And I'm really hoping we see that because he is a really talented guy and nothing would make me happier than to see him go somewhere else, really kind of put his head down, work through all the adversity he's gone through and come out the other side successfully. I think that'd be an incredible story. I think it'd be an incredible teaching moment, not only for him, but for so many people around the nation. Hopefully that's what we get to see because like I said, he is very talented and we do have to keep up with where he ends up going. But if you're wondering what work can be done in the trenches, not only for Colorado, but for teams in general, watch what's happening at Florida, because right now the Florida Gators are experiencing a mass exodus, including several offensive linemen, some defensive guys. This is something we're going to have to dissect here in the near future. I don't know what's going on with Billy Napier and the Gators right now, but several guys have hit the transfer portal. Several in the month of December. 15 plus in the month of December have hit the transfer portal from Florida. This is something we have to watch going forward. But I can't wait to hear from you. Let me know what you're thinking about all these moves down in the comments. That's it. See you.